Hi everyone, this week we have a double portion, Tazria and Metzora. The majority of the parshiot deal with something called sarat, a spiritual malady that would manifest itself on people's homes, on their clothing, on their utensils, and even on the person themselves. We call it leprosy, but it's nothing of a physical type, but it's something you'd have to go to the Kohen, not the doctor, to be checked out. We spent 2 parshiot on it. And even though the parshiot don't mention one word of why it's what its cause is, the Gemara in Erchan tells us it's because of Lashon Hara, speaking ill about others. I want to turn your attention to the Rambam in Hilchot Deyot, chapter 7, Halacha Gimel, where he says there are 3 averot that people will do that will be punished in this world and won't have a share in the world to come. He tells us it's murder, sexual immorality, and worshiping idols. And then he says something which is shocking to me, and Lashon Hara is equal to all of them. Now wait a second. No one told me that Lashon Hara, not only do I get punished for it in this world, but I don't have a portion in the world to come. That's pretty scary. The Rambam even goes on to say that 3 people are harmed by Lashon Hara. The person speaking it, the person who hears it, and of course, the person who's spoken about. So Lashon Hara is pretty serious stuff. So we spend 2 parshiot. The Rambam comes out very clear and tells us how bad it is. But really, like just a piece of juicy gossip, I'm not going to get a portion in the world to come. Rabbi Aryeh Leibowitz has a brilliant idea that I liked a lot, and I'd like to share it with you. He says there's a Gemara in Bava Batra, and the Gemara in Bava Batra tells us that if I give money to a poor person, I receive 6 blessings. But if I give words of encouragement, I receive 11 blessings. And he says it could be that when you give tzedakah, it's only limited in the scope of how it helps. Meaning it might help the person temporarily, but it doesn't always last. But when you give people words of encouragement, it might move them in the right direction that might make a difference in their entire life. The power of our speech. When God created man, v'yipach apav nishmat chayim, when God blew life into man, Unkla says it means the power of speech. And so, Rabbi Aryeh Leibowitz says that when we speak Lashon Hara, we misuse our humanity. And when we use our speech for something positive, this gift that we have, it can raise up people and we elevate our own humanity. So really, we live and die by what we say. I don't say complaining, but I was sort of fetching to a colleague of mine who happens to be one of the art directors in our school. And I told him these videos that I've been making, they just keep harder and harder for me because I guess maybe I have a very high standard. I'm not really sure. And he said to me, that's it. Sometimes with art, that's the struggle. When you want to put something good out, you get to a certain level and then you want to maintain that level. He said, just be kind to yourself. Well, I have to tell you, that's exactly what I needed to hear because that's the Dvar Torah. I just needed some words of encouragement and it gave me the strength to persevere, and hopefully I've made a good video for you to enjoy today with you and your family, and some lessons about the importance of what we say and how we say it and how we can receive and bring blessings not into our own lives but into the lives of others. It reminds me, before we daven, we say, Hashem sefasai tiftach ofi yagid tilasecha. God, please open my mouth so I can say your praises. Of course I'm going to say your praises. I'm going to daven the Shemona Esrei. What do you mean I have to ask God? No. Let's ask God for the opportunity to use our speech in a good way, look for opportunities, search for opportunities to lift people up with just the right amount of words. If you like what you hear, pass it on. Shabbat Shalom.